Hey guys, it's me, Cookie. So how you guys' day been? Mine has been great, mainly because I have no school today because it's Columbus Day and we can celebrate all of the Indians that he killed. Just kidding, that's not what Columbus Day is about. But anyways, yeah, speaking of school, um the one thing that's always stood out when I was at school were the other students and the teachers at school. And lots of the students at my school act a certain way and have certain characteristics, and some can even be stereotypical. Anyways, I made a list of my top 7 types of people at school. So here is my top 7 types of people at school. Number 1, we have the ghost. Now, the ghost, I don't know, he's so silent and quiet and always far away and remote from everybody else. Like, you know he exists, but you don't know if he exists, if you get my drift. So yeah, he's mostly introverted. He doesn't really have a lot of friends, but if he does have friends, it's very close friends. And I don't know, maybe you could call their friends the ghost talkers or the ghost whisperers or something. But anyways, yeah, the ghost is the silent, quiet type. Number 2, we have the extrovert. Now this person is always talking and they're always talking everywhere, and like you always see them on Instagram, and if they're on Instagram, there's probably a video of them talking, and they're probably like people that are like supporting women's rights or supporting gay rights or supporting Black Lives Matter. They're those kinds of people, but they're also really chatty and they can go hours on hours of just talking about a story and stuff like that. But let's go on to number 3. We have the bully. Now, I think we all know what a bully is, but it's not just the beat up, spit in your face bully. I'm also talking about the cyber bully. He calls you names online. You don't really know who he is, and if you know who he is, he's probably never gonna say that in school. And most bullies actually have some sort of backstory, whether it's abusive parents, bad family members, maybe something happened, maybe a tragic event. But anyways, yeah, that's the bully. So let's go on to number 4. Um, we actually have the sporty kid, the football kid, the soccer kid, whatever you want to call him. He's the sporty kid. He's the athletic kid. And, he's the one that plays varsity sports, private sports, like just sports. But anyways, yeah, he also sometimes can have sports injuries. And, he'll have a cast on his arm because he'll broke it. He's broken it. I'm so sorry for my bad grammar. Anyways, he'll have like a leg brace or he'll be on crutches, 'cause he slid and tackle and stuff. But anyways, let's move on to number 5. And we have the popular ones. Now, these kids, they're always on social media, and they always have tons of posts, and they always have tons of subscribers. If they're boys, then like everyone thinks they're hot. Tons of girls follow them on Instagram. And some kids at my school, they have anywhere from 900 to 2,000 followers, which is just absurd, okay? And also if they're a girl, they probably have really nice makeup even though it looks pretty bad to me at least. But anyways, they'll probably have like tons of Instagram posts of just them and their makeup in that stupid little Cledgerin theme setting thing for your photos. I don't really go on Instagram that much, but I know there's tons of themes and stuff for your photos, so yeah, I kind of don't know a lot about Instagram. Even though I do have one, follow me on my Instagram at CookieJar11. There's gonna be tons of old posts from, when I was starting the Pokemon No videos. But that's past the point. Um, you know, the popular ones, they're always, I don't know, they have this weird accent, like they're so snobby too. And they're mean to like little kids sometimes. And they're mean to other kids, And sometimes if you're in some sort of high school, some can actually do drugs. Just keep away from the people that do drugs, okay? Drugs aren't cool when you're doing them in school or anywhere else. But anyways, um, on to number 6. We have the Critic. Now this person, he's kind of like a little bit of a bully, but he doesn't go as far. He just critiques people. Like you say, "Oh, hey, little Billy. Yeah, your hair's stupid." I wouldn't say that's little Billy. But anyways, you know, he says mean things to almost everyone and everything, but he doesn't really have those bad backgrounds that bullies sometimes have. He's just that kid that just kind of despises everyone. But anyways, next we have number 7, and that is me, Cookie Jar 11. Goodbye.